What's up, everybody? It's Belusionist Brian Potvin here at Frogtown Brewery. 3rd year anniversary. We're going to be trying some brews. So join me and check it out. This is the block party. I'm getting thirsty. The Beer for Friends board right here is a pay it forward program. You can come into Frogtown, buy anyone a beer. They put their name on the wall. You then have to prove that you're the BFF. I'm here with
Teresa.
Teresa and
Jeanette Godoy.
Jeanette Virgen.
Gustavo. So what are we looking at here, guys? We've got a bunch of art all over the place. It's a Frogtown anniversary, but boom, you guys are popping. What's going on?
Well, celebrating, Dia de los Muertos and our art.
And your art. We don't want to forget our loved ones that have passed.
Yeah, so the importance to us about cultura or culture is very important. This tradition is timeless. It's existed for hundreds and hundreds of years. Without these borders, with these borders, it's still here. And so everything that you see up in this altar has a meaning, has a significance. Many of you probably saw the movie Coco, right? So a lot of it is really important to remember our ancestors and remember our traditions. Exactly, raza has feelings. Yeah. Right, exactly. But, even before that, like this tradition has existed from the times of the Aztecs, of the Mexica. So that's really important to acknowledge.
Well, my name's Jeanette, and I'm a makeup artist, and I do headpieces also. And the reason why I love doing Day of the Dead collaborations or events or anything that has to do with Day of the Dead is because that's when I feel the most connected to my ancestors and to my culture, So it's beautiful to be able to find friends that have the same interests, the same goals in showcasing the world what our Mexican culture is. So thank you for having us.
Okay, so I've been doing photography for 3 years, and my main goal is to show cultures together, Mexican culture, Chicano culture all together. Try to mix it in and try to keep the culture alive and show everyone what we're all about.
No, I don't need to hear you talk the talk. Just come and show me what your mama gave you. You've been waiting for that. Step on up, swing your bat. See any better, could be better to you.
I'm here with Adam, one of the owners of Frogtown. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. What are we drinking?
I'm drinking our Hazy River New England style IPA.
So this premiered today, is that correct?
We've had this one before, but we've got 5 new beers on tap today, actually.
5 new beers on
Yeah,
tap.
it's a fresh batch of this one, though. And we released it in cans today as well.
Released in cans, which is not a regular occurrence?
Not regular, yeah. We've done it before, but not regular, yeah.
So now, we're also here with Jonathan, one of the brewers.
Hi, how's it going?
Now, give us, without giving all the cookies away, tell us, what's the process like? What time do you start? What time do you end? How grueling is it?
Well, generally I'm here on brew days about 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Depends on if we're brewing one batch or multiple batches. So, and generally it takes about anywhere from 7 to 8 hours, or something along those lines. And anywhere from throwing grain in and mashing in to graining out and getting all the wort out into fermenters. It's roughly around that time, 7 to 8 hours.
So tell me, did you go to the one of the brewers' colleges, or did you start with home brewing?
I started home brewing, and then after a while I got the bug and actually took a course at Cal Poly Pomona and have their actual system there, Innovation Brewworks, and they trained me for roughly about over 80 hours through their 3-barrel system, and I got hired here right after.
Now, does Adam crack the whip? You can tell me. He won't say anything.
Yeah, but that's how we make great beer.
This is true. Adam, do you stand over your guys going, it's not good enough?
I don't say it's not good enough. I think we always are striving for excellence here. People make mistakes there all the time. I make mistakes, so it's just good to learn from those. But at the end of the day, we just strive for making the best beer we can here, and it's a really good team.
Now, I heard a rumor that a up-and-coming microbrew, maybe about 10, 12 years ago, started the sour movement because they ruined a batch of beer and they didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
So they said it's a sour. Any truth to that? Any thoughts? Like, is that how you guys come up with the sours?
I mean, we haven't come up with sours because we've ruined a batch. But one of our beers, the menu, which will not be named, is the way it is because of a mistake. But we won't talk about that. But the beer is great, yeah.
Definitely didn't turn into a sour or call
Is it your fault, Jonathan? Tell us the truth.
No comment.
No, we love the beer. That's why we're here. We're checking this out. And we're loving the community aspect you got going on here, too. Now, tell us how that came about. How did you tap the community in?
Yeah, we've been here for 3 years now, and we had an event like this last year, but with less community involved. And then we thought it would be a really great thing to just involve all the neighbors in this event and really have a good block party because there's so many great neighbors here on this street and local to Frogtown, and we feel like we are trying to be part of that community, and it's great inviting all of them here to be a part of this. Yeah.
All right, so we're here with Janet. Janet, honey, how long have you been a fan of Frogtown? Not long? It's okay. We can see it in your eyes. You love the beer, right? No, she doesn't. Very shy. She doesn't want to talk to me. She's out. What happens when you mix alcohol and beanbag toss? Let's find out. So I'm here with Katie and Robert. Katie and Robert have been fans of Frogtown for how long?
Since March,
at least
since
March.
we moved in. It's been a very welcoming community, and it's so great.
So when you say we moved in, you don't mean like you got a U-Haul and you rented an apartment. What is it that you do?
So I work in the coffee business. I work with Pasquini Coffee, and our business moved in March of this year. It's a family-run business owned by Guy, Brendan, and Jill Pasquini. And they're just such wonderful owners, and they have their own story to tell. And it was just such a fortuitous move-in, actually, finding this area.
I mean, I would love to move in next to a brewery. My apartment, it's lame with tons of I wish I lived near it. So Katie, when you come to Frogtown, what's your beer choice?
Beer of choice. Oh, damn. Well, I just had the Oktoberfest, and I think that's just a seasonal beer, but it is absolutely delicious. I want them to bottle it or can it because I want to bottle a lot more of it. It's amazing.
And Robert, same question. What do you come when you come to Frogtown? What are you looking for?
Of recent, I really like the Brown Magic. That is very delicious. I've had the Painkiller in the Tiki series, but I believe that the Brown Magic, continuing on with the Tiki series, just really does step it up a notch. It's such a wonderful, complex beer.
And it's in collaboration with Pasquini Coffee.
And Vato Boutique. It's really great. So
I was gonna say, so have you come over here with a bag of coffee and said, hey, brew some beer with some coffee in it?
Yes.
pretty much, yeah. this past season, yeah.
Black Magic is one of your favorites?
The Brown Magic, yes.
So wait. So is the Pasquini coffee in the Black Magic?
It is a Portioli coffee that we import, actually. So it was one that we brought over to Frogtown Brewery, and it's right in there. Yes.
So who did you run up to? Did you run into Adam? I mean, who did you run up to and say, take this coffee, put this in a beer?
Actually, I think Adam and everyone else came over, and then they wanted to try some coffee, so they got to try a lot of the coffees we have to offer, and they actually made that decision, I believe.
Well, I can't wait to meet the owners. I'd love to hear their story as well. I'm a big fan of coffee. I love Costa Rican's my flavor. That's one of the things that I don't want to be that snob, but anybody that knows me knows the type of beer that I drink. Knows I'm very snobby, and coffee's no different. I'm like, is it Costa Rican? I shan't be having any. So tell me, what kind of flavors do you have over that Pasquini?
All sorts of flavors, but what we do there is we do a traditional Italian style espresso joint. So that's basically like where it all started, I believe. With the cappuccinos, espresso machines, things like that. So we do like a lot of blends, but the cool thing with blends is you can hit every single flavor mark that you want to. So if people stop in, we have an open tasting room. You guys can come in, try anything you want. It's pretty great.
I'm here with Brendan Pasquini, owner of
Pasquini Coffee Company.
Now, Brendan, when did you guys open up?
We opened in 1957, so quite a while back in downtown LA. We were one of the first coffee shops in Los Angeles. Actually, I think the first coffee shop in Los Angeles. And it's been family owned from my grandfather, carried down through my parents, and now I'm taking over the reins, working with them. And here we are in Frogtown 2019.
So now, I know if my grandfather or my grandmother or anybody were to say, hey, carry on the business, it would seem like quite a burden, but you just said, yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've been working on and off in the family business since I was, probably a little too young to work, but it's been really fun.
Some laws were broken.
Just a few, but it's family, right? But I've really enjoyed it. Like, I just fell in love with the coffee business from day one. Every time I worked there for summers or whatever it was before I finished college, I just really enjoyed it. So I just kept going with it, and I just really love the coffee industry. So I just wanted to keep it going because I enjoyed the work so much.
I mean, it sounds great. I'm a big fan of coffee. I was telling one of your guys, I'm a big fan of Costa Rican coffee. He's like, oh, it's mainly Italian. Is that true? Now, do you get the coffee imported from Italy?
Yes, so we're one of the largest importers for a brand called Portioli, which is in Milan. So we import all the coffee from Milan in big ocean freight containers, and then we redistribute it throughout the United States, and then we also roast coffee locally ourselves as well.
So, like Frogtown Brewery, do you guys have your whole mash tun going on? I mean, can I come over and film you like with a shovel just graining? What are we talking here?
So we used to do the roasting ourselves by hand. We had a big old hand roaster from Italy. But then after we kind of got a little bit bigger, we started using a partner roaster of ours, which is located also in Los Angeles. We've been family friends with them for decades and decades, but they have the luxury of a computerized roaster. So we formulate all the blends, all the recipes, everything like that. We have the same raw green coffee, but now instead of having to roast it by hand and making sure everything's exactly the same, we hit a button on a computer, and the computer makes sure our recipe stays exactly how we want it. So that way the customer's taste profile is always the same every single time.
Now, Brendan, in the break room at Pasquini, is there a photo of Juan Valdez with a bunch of darts in it?
Not quite, no.
What's your major competition? Like, who are you competing with?
I think we're competing with a lot of like the boutique coffee roasters because, in Los Angeles, there's so much unique personality here with all the different coffee roasters. You have to find a way to kind of differentiate yourself. So, we're a small company, we're family owned, so we compete with all the small family owned companies as well. But we also are big Italian importers, so we compete with the Lavazzas and Ely's of the world and the big Italian coffee roasters. So we kind of have to compete against everyone, but mainly those small little coffee shops and the wholesalers as well.
So we're all here for the same reason. We're drinking beer tonight. What's your beer of choice when you come to Frogtown?
Well, right now I'm loving their new Brown Magic Tiki Series beer that got released tonight, mostly because the owner of Frogtown Brewery, they came by the week before this event and said, hey, we want to incorporate coffee into the new beer. So they asked us, well, we're right next to a coffee company, we got to try something. So we did a little tasting with them. We ended up giving them the Portioli Cafe Top. We showed them how to make the cold brew with it, lent them our cold brew equipment. So the new Brown Magic has our cold brew concentrate inside of it, and it's really good.
That sounds insane. So I know, number one, just to get a beer ready takes at least 2 weeks. And you're telling me they came to you a week before?
Yeah, they came to a week before. I guess they knew exactly what they were going to do with the rest of the beer. And they're like, what this beer needs in it is it just needs a little coffee kick. So they asked us how we make cold brew in concentrated form so they can add a little bit of percentage to the beer. And they just rolled with it. So they made the cold brew, I think, on Thursday or Friday night. Showed us some pictures on Instagram of it. And next thing you know, they're like, it's in the beer. Come try it.
I'm kind of worried that they have wizards working at Frogtown now.
They might. They might have some wizards there. They're doing some kind of black magic in order to get that beer tasting so good.
Hence the name. I'm very, very scared now. Right? Well, Brendan, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Yeah, of course. Definitely a pleasure. I love doing things for the community. We're absolutely enjoying our new time in Frogtown. We've been here for about 6 months, but it feels more like home than downtown ever did. And we're just so happy here right now. We're just enjoying it.
And do we have an online presence?
We do. We have a website, pasquini.com, and you can follow us on Instagram at Pasquini Coffee Co.
My next guest here is the barrel-aged beers. Now, a lot of times people don't know that when it says barrel-aged, this is exactly what they mean. It's in a barrel. So these are whiskey barrels that are charcoaled from the inside out, and it gives it that whiskey flavor, I guess you could say, that amber flavor. And let's talk to these barrels. Now, how long have you been a barrel? Wow. And how many months? So these barrels have been sitting here for 9 months. 9 months. That means the gravity is going to be off the chain. The IBUs are ridiculous, and the ABV is going to be above par. Chances are a beer like this will probably be around anywhere from 10 to 13%. That is not a beer you want to drink lightly. I'm here with Vato Boutique. I'm here with Nova and Jorge. Now, tell us, Nova, what is Vato Boutique?
It's a group of people, of friends that like to hang out at tiki bars and drink and just be peaceful with each other. And that's what it means to me. Just a community of people just hanging out, you know? They're into tiki, I guess, sorry.
So Jorge, is this true?
Yes, it's true.
Now, this isn't just an excuse to get together and drink?
Well, yeah, that's an excuse too, but
Yeah.
also,
It is an excuse.
we're also part of the tiki scene, and we saw a lack of anybody Latino or, like Chicano or Mexican. So we decided to do something that was like kind of bring people into the scene, make them feel like included. So that's what we started about the tiki too. Yeah.
It's one of the things we're all about is inclusion.
Yes.
And the Latino scene is just lacking in a lot of areas.
Yes.
I mean, it's difficult when you got one, you go, hey, I'm into tiki, I'm into rockabilly, I'm into beer, but then you got the other guys going, and it's like, that's all we're all about. But tell me now, what's the struggle of being Latino and into tiki?
I guess not that many people, Latinos, I guess, are into tiki. Only a handful of people are.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, there's a handful of artists. It's a small scene, but it's growing. So that's what we're trying to do is bring more people into the scene. Yeah.
Are you guys hitting the car clubs? I mean, where can we find you guys? I mean, how do I become a Vato Boutiquis?
My Instagram, basically.
Our Instagram page. We're always at Tiki Tea on Wednesdays.
And just
Yeah.
bunch of tiki
And
events, I guess.
we go to tiki events. We're
Like
always
Shipwreck.
there. Shipwreck.
Yeah,
too.
Shipwreck.
Shipwreck?
Yeah. That's
So, now, do you welcome others who are not Latino?
yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
everybody.
like I said, it's basically whoever is down to hang out. Basically, this is what it is. It's just whoever, and it doesn't matter where you're from or, as long as you're down.
Yeah, it's like, it's especially in Los Angeles where everybody grew up around this scene. Everybody knows like what a Vato is, or that's what Vato Boutique are. Like most of the people who bar and stuff aren't really, so they aren't even Hispanic or Latino. So, but yeah, for us it's just more inclusion for us, but also like a step into the scene where they feel included as well.
So no, it's not a car club, it's not a music club, it's all about tiki.
Yeah. Well,
like a social club too. Like
I don't know. It's just I don't even know if it's a social club. It's just people to hang out.
Yeah.
So now, are there people that are like Vatos who hate tiki, like that are enemy? I mean,
hope not.
I don't know. Probably.
it's like,
Oh, yeah.
hey man, hey fuck that guy, let's get him.
Oh, like a gang thing? No, I don't think so.
No, our logo is we hit up bars, not people.
Bars, not people. We gotta add that to the line right there. That's gotta be the show. We hit up bars, not people.
Yeah, that's our whole thing. So we just want to hang out, have a good time.
When you come to Frogtown, what's your favorite beer?
Well, now it's the Brown Magic. We just released a Vato Boutique collaboration.
Everybody's loving that brown magic.
Yeah, it's good.
It's our collaboration beer with Frogtown. So we worked on them with a beer, trying to get like a tiki vibe into it. So it's based off a drink from the Maikai in Florida called the Black Magic.
That's very cool. Now, Nova, did you have anything to do with it, or were you hungover?
No. We both here. I think at 9 in the morning. We were here for like 10. A couple hours. Just we actually put everything in there, and we learned about the process, how it's made, and we had to take stuff out, dump it out, and so we help with the making of the beer.
All right. So what we've learned today at the Frogtown 3rd anniversary is the officers declined to do an interview, but they are here to protect us, make sure that the community is safe. We've also learned that the Vato Boutique helped collaborate in the Brown Magic, as well as Pasquini Espressos. We also learned that beanbag tossers don't care where they're throwing the goddamn beanbags. They're just going to throw wherever they throw. Anyway, I'm Belusionist Brian Pavin. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.